Hey guys, it's Rosa. Welcome back to my channel. I know I'm in the car, but since I had a little bit of time to film right before working, I wanted to make the intro to this video. As you can tell by the title, this is a collaboration with Living Day by Day, aka Nicole, and we wanted to challenge ourselves. So we talked about this video and we suggested to do a budget challenge for a day, a full day for 3 meals. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And Nicole suggested we do 10 euros. I'm gonna let you know right now, this was a big challenge for me. I found this very difficult. I'm not that good at budgeting. Nicole is way better at this than I am. I bet she did better than I did. I consider that I failed. Although I consider that I failed, my budget still is under 10 euros, but that's because I didn't include certain ingredients. Not a lot. You'll see once we get into the video. Just a little information on the challenge. 10 euros, 3 meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just as I said, but we're not including oils or seasonings. So that doesn't count, because if we weren't to include all of those things, of course we would go up in price. But that's something that we use every day in our food, so that's why we're not counting it. Yeah, and I just hope you like this video. I hope you like this challenge. Maybe you should try out the challenge too. It's not easy, trust me. Don't forget to check out Nicole's video. I'll leave her video in the description below. Also, I'll pin it in a comment just so you don't miss it. She probably did way better than I did. So go check her video out. Let her know that you came from my channel. Say hi for me. And if you came from Nicole's channel, welcome. Yeah, so let's get into it. First meal of the day. I decided to do something simple for breakfast. I didn't want to complicate it too much because, you know, the more ingredients, the more expensive. So I decided to do bullived misto, which is like a sandwich. It is a sandwich, but it's made with bullived, which is a Portuguese sweetbread made here in São Miguel. I'm just putting the ham and the cheese, and then I'm going to be toasting mine, and the other one I'm leaving untoasted for my boyfriend.
I'm like, oh shit, I've been doing this a long time, lost in my head, I don't care, I'm not gonna lose it, I'm not gonna lose this, I'm up all day, all night.
You can't see the cheese because it melted. Something just hits different when it's this bread.
I'm not gonna lose this. Yeah, kinda hate myself sometimes. Everything was on the line. Didn't wanna be the one who had to say it. No, I can't move one at a time. Promise I'll put down.
Next meal, very simple and very delicious, but there's almost no ingredients. So let me just show you what I'm making. I am starting off by dicing an onion, and then I'll be mincing some garlic. Next up, I am just dicing these beautiful tomatoes. And while I dice these tomatoes, leave a comment down below telling me if you think a tomato is a fruit or a vegetable.
I needed what you gave to me. You're everything, a living dream. I know, not an enemy. Did you feel it though? We were riding low, and only thing I know, 'cause we could be lovers, hiding under covers. Oh darling, you're all that I'll ever need, alright.
Alright, now in my pan, I'm using a wok because it's the biggest pan I have. I'm just putting around 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm adding in my onion and my garlic. I'm gonna let that saute for a couple of minutes until the onion is translucent, and then I will be adding in my tomatoes.
Wait until we meet though, falling on my feet though.
After the tomatoes are in the pan, I will be adding in salt, some black pepper, I'll be adding in some thyme, some dried basil, I add in oreganos, and then I add in a little bit of hot sauce. Oh, and I add in a little bit of rosemary too. After adding all of these seasonings, I mix it up, and then I end up adding a little bit of smoked paprika. These seasonings are what makes this food come together. After adding the paprika, I ended up adding in a bay leaf because bay leaf cuts acid, and since the tomato is a bit acid, I wanted to smooth out the taste, and yes, so the bay leaf will help with that. Later on, I add in a couple tablespoons of sugar to help with that. And now I'm just adding in a little bit of white wine. I don't add too much because tomato releases a lot of liquid. So I let this tomato cook from 5 to 10 minutes, just until it starts to get cooked through. Then I end up adding in a tablespoon or 2 of tomato puree, and this is just to help with the consistency of the sauce. So you might be seeing why I think I failed this challenge, because in this recipe, the only 2 ingredients that I counted to be my paid ingredients were the tortellini and the tomato. So my sauce is going. Looks delicious, tastes delicious so far. I put in a little sugar just so that it could cut the acid, but the bay leaf also works for that. Anyways, my water is almost starting to boil. I'm gonna put in my tortellini for 5 minutes, just like the package says. This does not look like a lot, but trust me, this is enough for 2 servings. So it will be enough for me and my boyfriend. I'm gonna cook these up, and then I'm gonna drain them and put them in the sauce. Okay, so I've scooped them out already, put them in the sauce. As you can see, they kind of grew in the water, and it's ready to serve. That's pretty much it. I'll let you know how it tastes. Alright, so lunch is served. This is such a delicious, easy, and quick, and also cheap recipe to make. So dinner time, another simple recipe, not hard to make. This is just tuna salad. I am making this tuna salad with potatoes. I usually add in a lot more ingredients, but not today because it doesn't fit in the budget. This is a very flexible recipe. I usually add in eggs, I usually add in olives, Sometimes I add in some peas. It's literally just how I feel on the day. And today, since I don't have much money left on my budget, I just added in corn and tuna, nothing more. I know, it's a very sad recipe, but it tasted good, and I think that's what matters. So as you saw, I peeled the potatoes and cut them up into small pieces, and I put them in a pot with water, a bunch of salt, and 2 cloves of garlic, and I am going to let that cook through, and then after it's cooked, I am going to drain them and put them into a big mixing bowl. Alright, so I'm going to be draining my tuna and my corn, and I'm going to add it into the potatoes.
Yes, I know when I close my eyes. Yes, I know when I close my eyes. You're somewhere else.
Tuna nowadays is getting more expensive, just like everything else. But I remember when I would buy tuna for almost 50 cents. It used to be just a little bit more than 50. And now it's so expensive. It's like double the price. I also prefer tuna in water, but tuna in oil is cheaper. In this recipe, I usually add eggs, olives, I think that's pretty much it. Eggs and olives also, but today that doesn't fit in my budget, sadly. Just be adding a little bit of olive oil. And a little bit of vinegar. Usually we have this with salad, but today we're having a simple dinner. And that's pretty much it for today's dinner. Even though it doesn't have all the ingredients I usually put in it, it still tasted really good and I still really enjoyed it. Alright, lastly, so you can see how much I spent. Here's my receipt. My total was $9.10, but I took out the plastic bag, which was 14 cents. And then I also divided the cans of corn. It came in a pack of 3 and I only used 1 can, so I counted that as only 51 cents. And yeah, here are the prices. The boule lived, each of them were 90 cents, so that was 180. The cheese slices were 28 cents. The ham slices were 25. Tortellini was $1.89 for that package. The tomatoes were $1.73. The potatoes were $1.43. The tuna was $1.84, and the corn was 51 cents per can. And that gave me a total of $9.73. So this total is under the 10 euros budget. I'm gonna use those 27 cents that were left. I'm gonna consider that I used those 27 cents for that onion, but in reality, if I were to count the onion and the garlic, I would have gone over budget. That's a wrap for this video. I probably didn't satisfy you with these 3 recipes, but it's what I was able to do for 10 euros. Nicole has a lot of good tricks, hacks in budgeting and saving money on groceries and saving money on food. So you should really go check out her videos. She could help you. I've been taking a few of her tips and trying to use them in my day-to-day life. I feel like they're very helpful. So yeah, things are getting more expensive. Inflation has been hitting really hard. So it's important, at least to me, that we save a little bit more money on food, because even though prices are going up, our salaries are staying practically the same, which is a big problem. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you like this video. if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you like these types of videos. I have so much more content planned to come out for you guys, so yeah. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!